Throughout the world, crime is found everywhere. No matter where we go, there's always some sort of criminal activity going on. It is interesting to see how some places can be so high with crime while others are not. Oftentimes, many lower income levels have higher rates of crime due to lack of jobs, or because children don't have access to education or proper nutrition, etc. Many questions arise about how to handle crime, and different countries and different politicians try to answer this question in very different ways. Another global issue is drug dealing. This issue has gradually risen over the years. Again, many people living in poorer, more rural communities may find themselves in these situations, of course, along with some urban locations as well, such as Juarez in Mexico, which is one of the most dangerous cities that is full of drug dealers. The U.S. has tried to stop production from Mexico. However, these efforts haven't been fruitful because the demand is so high, and the people that are dealing these drugs need the money, so they're desperate to find a way to get them to the U.S. Tobacco is another drug that has a direct negative impact on the people who are around the person who uses it. Of course, secondhand smoke is a very dangerous health risk, especially for children, infants, and the elderly. Also, those who have pre-existing health conditions, since their immune systems aren't as strong. But of course, no one should be breathing it in at all. Many Americans view less government intervention as a good thing. However, when it comes to big issues like these, having less government intervention can sometimes cause more problems. Since there is less intervention, then the government isn't as aware, or as they're not really tracking the illegal drug trafficking patterns as highly as other countries, such as Sweden or Saudi Arabia, etc. Some drug and pharmaceutical companies have been sued over their intentional contribution to the opioid crisis. Specifically here in America, they have had misleading ad campaigns, or they may have targeted children or the elderly or other vulnerable age populations, along with other unethical behaviors. And ultimately, they've glamorized their products to an unhealthy point where people have been led to overdose. So ultimately, how to fight crime is a question that is very difficult to answer, and many countries answer it differently. In the U.S., conservatives generally tend to say that we need more law and order, while progressives tend to lean more toward providing health care or other opportunities for these more disadvantaged populations, instead of just immediately going to the punishment. And while healthcare may seem, mental health care usually is what we think of, may seem like a beneficial idea, it is important to note that it would be an added cost to society. So that's just a whole other discussion, whether or not the benefit for some people in society is worth, everyone putting money in for. So there's a lot to this topic, but ultimately it is a very big problem, and it probably won't be solved anytime soon.